What is up, Dynasty owners? It's your boy Jay Pounds back with another free agent auction run for you guys. This week, you guys are going to see some duplicates. Not enough of you picked the guys I recommended up, so I'm going to tell you to pick them up again. You didn't listen? Maybe you will this week. I don't know why you're listening to me. My team's 0-4 this week in Dynasty owner. Now it was a weird football week. Lots of injuries, just lots of weird things. Amari Cooper coming away with like 3 points. It's kind of similar to Aaron Jones getting like 6 points in week one. CEH had a 1.6 for me. It was just a very very weird week. I'd have like two guys blow up, and the rest would just be absolute duds. Excuse me. But that's all right. That's what you have. That's part of the game. That's why we all play, right? It drives us crazy. Enough of me jibber jabbering about my teams. We're gonna go ahead and get right into Jay's fastest 2 minute drill, whatever you guys want to call it. We're copying off of this, the legend Chris Berman here. All right, let's go ahead. Jay's week two. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of this week 3 free agent article, but we're talking about a week 2 recap here. So week 2 recap. The Ravens and Chiefs game, man, that it was a blast to watch. I sat back, ate some good food, had a couple drinks, and just watched some good football. Lamar had a good bounce back performance. I will say that it was weird to see Patrick Mahomes lose a game in September. I believe that was the first one he's ever lost in September. I believe that was the first interception he's ever thrown in September, and that is just a very wild stat. To be a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL and throw 0 interceptions in a certain month of the season for some reason. It's just crazy to me. After that, we have the Titans and the Seahawks. Titans pulled out a victory that I did not think was going to happen in overtime. They were down by quite a bit. Whenever I watch a lot of the Red Zone channel, and it just seemed like they were down by quite a bit. And out of nowhere, it was just like Derrick Henry, and that's what they should have did week 1. But it took the new offensive coordinator a little bit of time to figure it out. But he figured out, hey, Derrick Henry's really good when you let him run the ball 30 times a game. The Cowboys defense looks much improved this year. They were horrible last year, and this year they're just taking the ball away left and right. I believe they're top 10 in the league in takeaways, maybe even top 3. I can't remember the exact stat there, but it's just very, very improved from 2020. We've seen them constantly getting burnt. Dak Prescott didn't even throw for a touchdown, and they won the game. If that tells you anything, the Cowboys look like they're here to play, and they might be some a playoff contender this year. Kyler Murray for MVP. He had 400 yards, 4 total TDs. Steve Van Tassel's got him in the Writers League. I know that total score for the week looks great. I can't remember if you won or lost, but I'll have to look after this. But the Vikings defense, man, it just looks rough. I heard a lot of hype in the offseason about how they were going to be very improved and things of that nature, and it hasn't happened on the field. Maybe it's a learning curve. Who knows? But for right now, I'm enjoying if my fantasy players play that Minnesota defense. I'm hoping they do. My poor Steelers, man, they look bad. The offense is struggling, to put it nicely. I don't know where they go from here. Hopefully, it's just kind of a learning curve with the new offensive line and things. But I knew the offensive line was going to be bad, but I didn't know it would be this bad. Defense looks great, though. It's going to keep him in a lot of games. Big Ben will have chances to win games as long as he doesn't turn the ball over a whole lot. The Steelers will probably be a playoff team, I would imagine, just because of their defense. The hoodie, Bill Belichick, he still eats rookies for breakfast, guys. Zach Wilson threw 4 picks against the hoodie. It's not like he's out there on the field picking the ball off or anything, but still, it's a Bill Belichick domino. This has happened. Bill Belichick's basically entire career has nothing to do with Tom Brady because it's the defensive side of the ball. He hides things well, and rookies and people like you and I just don't see it. Josh Allen struggled again, but the Bills dominated. They didn't need him to be Josh Allen of 2020. They just needed him to be a below average quarterback, to be honest. They won 35-0. It was a great looking game for the Bills. Josh Allen will get there, guys. I don't know. He regressed a little bit, and it does worry me some. But I don't know. I just see the it factor. It's still there with Josh Allen, and I think he'll have it fixed by probably week 4, week 5 at the latest. You know, he might struggle again in week 3. I'm expecting a 280 touchdown performance or something like that and some rushing yards. But Josh Allen will be back, guys. He might not be an MVP this year, but he's getting it figured out and he'll be fine. After that, we got the Rams versus the Colts. Man, what a thriller this game was. My main takeaway, excuse me, my main takeaway from it was the Rams defensive line is really, really good. They made the Colts run game look terrible, and that's not easy to do. Um, the other takeaway from this game is I was pretty wrong about Cooper Kupp. He looks phenomenal with Matthew Stafford. I was a little bit higher on Robert Woods, and that may change as the season goes on, but I just don't see it happening. They seem to have a very good connection. I missed the piece where they were going out and having breakfast together and things like that. So they're besties, and it's really showing out on the field. The Panthers defense looks dominant. They have held basically in check both teams they've played this year, with being the Jets and the Saints. Yes, Zach Wilson didn't look anywhere near as bad as he did this week against the Patriots in week 1, but the Panthers defense, they're young, but they're going to be a force here within the next year or two, I feel like. The next thing I got here is, are the Texans for real? You guys tell me, are they for real? Comment down below, please. Comment down below. I want to know what you guys think of the Houston Texans, and let's pretend like Tyrod Taylor's only going to miss a week. Do you guys think they're for real? Because I'm not sold on them. I do think they can stay in games if Tyrod is their starting quarterback, because he's not going to turn the ball over. He's not going to put the defense in bad positions. He knows how to manage the clock. His legs will extend plays, things like that. But it's still the Texans. They were supposed to be a horrible team this year, and they have exceeded expectations highly. But I think they'll come back down to earth a little bit, but they will stay in games. You know, I see them maybe a 4-win team this year, something like that. But please let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear. After that, we got the Bengals. They look so much improved this year. They did lose this week against Chicago, but that's a tough Chicago defense. Burrow did have 3 interceptions, but that's okay. It's going to happen. He's young. He's a gunslinger. I don't see him having many 3 interception games in his career. But the Bears defense, they were all over him. I think they had 4 sacks or something like that. So they should have drafted Penei Sewell. But, you know, Jamar Chase, it doesn't look like they made the wrong pick per se. But I just think Burrow's career was too important there. He should have took the offensive lineman. After that, we got the Jaguars. They played a much better game in week 2. They looked atrocious in week 1, but they looked like they got it together a little bit in week 2. Trevor Lawrence didn't have a good game at all, but that's, you know, what you get when you're a rookie, especially with a piss poor, don't pardon my French there, but their roster is horrible. You know, they've done a terrible job at assembling that roster, and that's the only way I can think to describe it. So that's what they're going to get. And last but not least, Aaron Rodgers is back. It scared me the first half. You know, I was talking with my friend Bryce. You know, I had him on a video not long ago, and he's a big Packers fan. You know, he was just telling me, we were talking about how timing based Aaron Rodgers was, and he just felt like that the timing wasn't there quite yet, and he's seen a better chemistry with Jordan Love and the receivers, and that's because they were practicing with him. You know, this organization is so on offense, they're so timing based because Aaron Rodgers has been their quarterback so long that the players on this roster, that's just what they know. So, you know, of course they got more used to it with Jordan Love being that's who they played with all offseason. So, you know, I think we'll slowly start to see this Packers offense get better each week, and they'll finally hit their stride around week 7 or week 8. That's all I got for Jay's week 2 takeaway or week 2 recap. Hope you guys enjoyed the week. Like I said, it was crazy. Lots of injuries. Before we get into the free agent targets this week, guys, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And please turn that notification bell on if you have not already. It greatly helps out Dynasty Owner. And as I mentioned earlier, please comment below. That helps out, I believe, more than anything. That liking and commenting, I believe, help out the most. So if you guys could do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. And I will be sure once these videos start getting up to around 50 to 100 likes, I'm going to do a few giveaways, just little things, stuff that'll make you guys feel all warm and fuzzy inside, stuff like that. All right, guys, we got the week 3 free agent auction article. It is starting to dry up. Make sure you guys might want to get these guys now, because here in about 3 weeks, I'm going to be giving you guys lottery tickets to put on your bench. So stock up on these guys now, because you're going to need them, I promise. Our number 1 free agent target this week is a repeat from last week. You're going to see a couple of those in here because you guys just, like I said, you didn't listen. We got KJ Osborne, wide receiver, Minnesota Vikings, 3 years, $890,000. He is 63.9% rostered. I did break my 60% roster rule on this one by a few percentages for a couple of the guys, but it's just because I really feel like they need to be rostered at this point. It's something that, like I said, in a couple weeks, you're not going to have any of these guys available to pick up, so you got to get them now. And somebody like KJ Osborne he's the way he's playing. If he continues to go like this, he's going to be a good player to have on your roster for quite a while. Adam Thielen's getting old, guys. This KJ Osborne could be the guy that plays across from Justin Jefferson for the next 5-6 years. You know what I mean? He could be the number 2 on Minnesota as early as probably next year. Adam Thielen, I'm telling you, he had a good week 1, but I'm not expecting much out of him this year. He tailed off bad towards the end of last year. If he didn't have touchdowns, fantasy owners would be staying away from him at this point. But the touchdowns really saved Thielen. Thielen did out target Osborne by 1. I think it was 8-7 if I remember correctly. But still, that being said, it's a young guy at 890,000 and Thielen's at 19. To me, that's a no-brainer. Go out and get KJ Osborne before he's gone, guys. He's available in 40%, 37% of leagues, 36.1 if you want to be exact. But go out and get him. He is there, he is available, and he needs to be on every single roster. He needs to be rostered in every single league in Dynasty Owner. There's no reason this guy should be even at 99% available or rostered after week 3 or going into week 3. Man, I'm losing my words here. Sorry, guys. There's no reason KJ Osborne should be anything less than 100% rostered after week 2. After the week 2 he just put up, guys, there's no way you can leave him sitting there. At number 2, the next couple guys you can go in any order. It's just, they're depends on what your team needs, really. Do you need a wide receiver? Do you need a running back? At number 2, I got Sammy Watkins, wide receiver out of Baltimore. 1 year, $5 million. He's 47.93% rostered in Dynasty Owner. And he is just somebody, I just think he fits in the Baltimore offense. He's looked good both games. He didn't have a huge game this last week. He would have got you, I think, 8.4 Dynasty Owner points. And that's not great, but somebody, if you got to put him on your bench, it's a couple points. That, trust me, there's a lot worse options out there than Sammy Watkins. And another thing I really, really like about Sammy Watkins is you can let him go freely at the end of this year. If you don't think he did enough and you don't want to, or he signs a new contract and it's too much for your likings, guess what? It costs you nothing to get rid of him at the end of the year, because he's on a 1-year deal and he will be a free agent. And as you know, in Dynasty Owner, anytime a player signs a new contract, you can get rid of him free and clear for no cost to you. We do that because we want you to be like a GM. When you sign a player or pick a player up that has a certain contract, you need to honor that contract. So if you don't honor the contract, it's going to cost you a little bit. It's just, that's how it works in the real NFL. It's how it works in Dynasty Owner. At number 3, we got Zach Pascal, 1 year, $3.3 million. He is 63.3% rostered in Dynasty Owner, and he is another one that was on last week's list that you guys just didn't listen to. Scored another touchdown. I think 4 out of the 5 guys I had last week. It's the best week I think I've ever had on the free agent run. 4 out of the 5 scored a touchdown last week. Tim Patrick boosted his ownership up significantly, which should have happened with Jerry Jeudy's injury. Cortland Sutton came back in a big way though last week, so don't expect Tim Patrick to be producing once Jared Jeudy is back. He will kind of go back into the abyss. But Zach Pascal, guys, I think he's here to stay for the year. Paris Campbell's really disappointed me, and I just think it's Michael Pittman and Zach Pascal. That may change once Ty comes back, but until then, I think Pascal's he should be on, rostered in most leagues. There's no reason he shouldn't, especially when we're giving out bench points and he's scoring touchdowns. At number 4, we got Cordero Patterson, running back, Atlanta Falcons. 1 year, $3 million. He is 49.1% rostered in Dynasty Owner. And for some reason, I feel like that number's wrong. I'm going to have to go back and double check that after the video. I will let you guys know on Twitter if it is, or just double check the article. I'm not sure on that though. But Cordero Patterson had himself a week this week. He had 2 touchdowns, 69 total yards. That's obviously not eye-popping numbers, but man, will that do the job. Especially when you're getting him for nothing here on the free agent run. It blows my mind that he's still available after, it's running back is so hard to find in Dynasty. And I look through some of the leagues that I'm in and on the bench, even my teams, man. In one league, I had Justin Jefferson and Sony Michel starting on the bench. It's a very top-heavy lineup, but still, that's something I'm seeing consistently around Dynasty Owner is just poop turds at running back, and it seems like nobody's picking these guys up. Cordero Patterson got you at 6 point. I'm not going to do the math in my head, but like 20-something Dynasty Owner points in week 2, and he was just chilling in the free agent run. Nobody wanted to pick him up. But that being said, guys, he has carved out a very nice role in this Atlanta Falcons offense, and there's no reason he's probably going to be 100% owned after the week he just had against the very, very tough Tampa Bay run defense. Last but not least, guys, we got Rashard Higgins, wide receiver, Cleveland Browns, 1 year, $2.3 million. He's 40% rostered in Dynasty Owner. And this one's probably a surprise to a lot of people. Jarvis Landry's banged up. Odell's banged up. Who knows what's going on with him? This is kind of a, if one of those two miss, I feel like Rashard Higgins is going to step in. He hasn't gotten much playing time. It's been more Schwartz and Peoples-Jones. But remember, guys, Hollywood Higgins has a connection with Baker. And like I said, I'm kind of going out on a limb here. But I feel like if one of those guys miss, you should have this guy on your roster, and he's going to produce. We'll see what happens there. But Rashard Higgins, last guy on the free agent run, if you got an extra spot and an extra $1 million dynasty dollars to see what goes down with Beckham or Landry, go ahead. Because this wide receiver room in Cleveland is beat up right now. And they're playing 3 tight ends a lot right now, guys. They had Njoku, Hooper, and Harrison Bryant all catching passes this week. So I could see somebody like Higgins. I'm very, very shocked that he's not getting he doesn't have more of a role in this offense with the chemistry he has with Baker and how well he's played when he's been given a chance in Cleveland. But I think his time will come, and we'll see Higgins shine here soon if the injuries continue to plague the wide receiver room of the Cleveland Browns. But that's all I got for you this week, guys. This one went a little longer than I wanted to, but hope you guys enjoy it. Good luck on your 2021 Chase for the Ring, and we'll catch you guys next week.